All right, everybody. It's new comic book day. You saw the graphics. I got the copyright stuff that's going to knock me out once more. Got a little hell's bells going on. And I don't care. I'm not monetized. How's it going, Gary? How is it going, Gary? It's new comic book day. I should be happy. I should have a bunch of books ready to rip them open, read them, mangle them, enjoy them. But I'm not so happy today. One of the reasons why I'm not so happy, this should have been light. This should have been a really light new comic book day. But instead, it was a heavy one, both in girth and in price. And the reason why is I had to buy more bags and boards. I got one bag of board thing of modern size, and I got a Silver Age. Why did I get 1 and 1? Because they only had one modern left. So I got that, and I'll swap out some of the silvers that, I don't know, I'll figure it out. And so, and anyway, I need the silver bags and boards for the thicker books. They don't fit in the modern size. That being said, let's get this out of the way. I'm really, really annoyed. I don't know. I think I'm the only one aggravated that my LCSs in the area don't give bags and boards with the new releases. I don't know why. So irritated. And I'm going to play some more AC/DC. Let's go back in black, baby. If the music is a little too loud as I'm speaking and you're watching, let me know. Let's get to the stuff. I'm trying to be, entertaining. Everybody wants to be entertaining on this YouTube thing. So I'm trying to play some music. I'm trying to put some graphics on the pre-edited stuff. This is live, so I can't do much on this. And if I could, I don't know how to do that so far. Let's start with this. We got comic shop news. As always, this is how I start off my new comic book day. My one LCS offers this. Looks like we got some interesting stuff in here, as always. Should be fun to read. And if anybody wants me to go through this, like in individual videos that don't get these, let me know, and I'll actually go by them every week and show you what's in here. I'm not going to do that in these videos, but if you want me to do that, I will. That's not all right. Watching while reading. What are you reading, Gary? What are you reading? All right, let's see what we got. Oh, you know what else I got in here? I got comic bags. And you know what else I got? More comic bags. I got a bag. I got a bundle of silver and a bundle of current. Why? Once more, my LCS does not give. No LCS in my area gives them. The only one that I know of that still gives bags and boards with their comics anywhere somewhere near me, I think might be Midtown. They might be the only ones. Gary, I think you're in Rochester, somewhere in upstate, or Rochester, probably. I think, maybe. I don't know. Do your LCSs give bags and boards? How is Mighty Valkyries, by the way? I'm curious in starting to I'm curious to start picking up those issues and start reading them. I'm very curious about those books. Let me know if they're good or not, if they're worth me picking them up. So let's get to the books. Let's get to the books. All right. So, as usual, I go to LCSs. See, I got a good memory. I knew you were in Rochester. Damn you, Rochester LCSs. Why don't they give bags and boards either? Makes no sense, man. It irritates me. Gary, I think you're old enough to remember the 90s. Is it only me that remembers that all the LCSs used to give bags and boards with all their comics? I'm pretty sure everybody, at the very minimum, bag their comics if you got them from LCS. Even some newsstands actually bagged their comics at one point in the 90s, believe it or not. I'm going to give it a try, Gary. I'm going to give the Valkyries book a try. You know, I enjoy Conan, and you're my Conan guy. You never had one do it. See, they don't treat you guys humane in Rochester. We used to have that, and they just cut us off. They just cut us off. I just cut the AC/DC off, giving myself a migraine, being aggravated. But let's get into it. So, as usual, I go to 2 LCSs. How's it going, Hidden Gems? Thank you for joining me. You probably just missed my rant about bags and boards. As you could tell, I had to buy more bags, and I bought more boards. Look. And they're not cheap either. They freaking cost, I think, $11-12 for the freaking boards and $7-8 for the bags. All right, that's 2 people that are endorsing Valkyries. How's it going, aggressively relaxing? All right, I'm going to pick it up. I take Gary's recommendation highly, and now that you're endorsing it as well aggressively, now I got to pick it up. Yeah, they're not cheap when you buy them from Amazon. LOL. Hey, you're messing with me, little man. Don't mess with my nerves. They're not cheap when you get them from Amazon. They're not cheap from when you get them from the LCS. They're freaking paper and plastic. And they should give them with all the new books. Especially the LCSs that don't give discounts. Anyway, if you really, really want me to get into this, I'll get into this. I can make a whole freaking stream video just pissed off about bags and boards. Not going to do it. I'm going to make myself happy today. Happy thoughts. Okay. So, as usual, I go to 2 LCSs. The reason why I go to 2 different LCSs, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, is 1, I feel loyalty to both of them. They both do the right thing in different ways for me. Some of them don't do completely the right thing, but they try to do the right thing by me. And I want to support them. I really believe in supporting local businesses. So they're close to each other. Why not stop at both of them and give them some business? So one of them I don't get a lot of stuff from. Since they're so expensive, that's probably why the LCSs don't include them for free with the comics. They're not for free. That's why you don't get it. They're not for free. It's a promotion to make the comics more desirable. I'm gonna show you something. Not in this batch. I'm gonna show you in the next batch, and that's I'm gonna show you why I'm so irritated. Okay, if you hang on, you'll see. So I go to the 2 LCSs. The first one I don't pick up a lot of stuff from because they don't give me any discount, but I feel loyalty, so I pick up something from them. I have a pull box with them. I only have a couple things on them. Something's Killing the Children, Nice House on the Lake, the stuff that I get duplicates of. And then some other books that I get, maybe Bunny Mask and some other Demented comics that I pick up. So I'm going to start with the new books. As you can tell, this one's Something's Killing the Children. Now, I have them in for getting both the A and B covers, but for some reason they only got the A cover to be able to give me, or either that or they ran out and I was further down the list and I didn't get one. That's okay. So I got my issue number 20 of Something's Killing the Children. Not really hot about this cover, but I do enjoy this Joe story. So this is actually one of the books that I actually read. I read it. I don't spec on it only and collect it only. I do spec on it because I get 2 copies, but I do read 1 copy and I keep one other safely in a bag and board. If it gets to my house undamaged. Okay. Then the next I got this actually for free from them. They gave me a copy of Fortnite Batman Special Edition, free Batman, blah blah blah. I think I might have a copy of this from the LCS that gave me it, but I'm gonna give this to my son. He'll like it. He can mangle one, keep the other one, cut out the characters, stick them on things. I don't know, whatever he wants to do with them. It's a free comic. It's nice. So next, they have a wall. This is what pisses me off. Look, these books are brand new. They just came out. Okay, they just came out, and then my LCS is awesome. No complaints. I love them. I'm a complainer. I do love my LCSs because they do right by me in other ways. It's just the mentality of not bagging and boarding new books that irritate me, and I'll explain to you why. Okay, so I have these books. These are new releases. Okay, forget about the free comic book day. I wouldn't expect them to the Batman day, whatever the hell you want to call it. I wouldn't expect them to bag and board that. It's a free comic. Okay. But right next to all the new releases, they have a bunch of back issues that are going for cover price. And on those issues, they're all bagged and boarded. So why the hell are you bagging and boarding the back issues that are still selling for cover price, but the new issues are not bagged and boarded? Does that make any sense? I don't know. Makes no sense to me. Anyway, so I got a copy of Civil War II. I don't have any, or if I do, I have scattered copies of Civil War II along with Civil War I. So I figure if I could get them at cover price or cheaper, I'll start putting this, I'll put this collection together. I really want to read it. I've only read bits and pieces of it. And I'm interested in it. I watched a little thing that Comics Explained did on it. If you don't know Comics Explained, this guy's great. He sits there and he analyzes it. He talks about hidden gem. I don't know what kind of sense you're making. This is Gen Y millennial sense that you're making. It doesn't make any sense to me. Generation X, get off my lawn. Anyway, Civil War II. I think I'm going to start trying to collect this series if I could get it in. See, you're making me aggravated. I'm starting to lose focus. I want to focus on my new comics. So I'm going to start picking this up in any way I can and cover price. No apologies necessary, hidden. Just messing around. I figured if I can make a joke out of it and laugh with myself, then what else is there left? So anyway, I got this to start compiling that collection together. So if I get them at cover price or less, I'm going to start picking them all up. And this is like oversized book. I don't even know what he charged me for this, to be quite honest with you. I know what ended up costing me for this batch. It cost me about with the bags and boards and the comics. It cost me about $60. I don't even know what the hell this thing costs. How much does this thing cost? It's oversized. $5.99. All right, it makes sense. It's heavy. It's pretty girthy. Right? Then I went back. If you watched my episode last week of New Comic Book Day, you saw that I picked up a copy of New Agents of Atlas, the War of the Realms, #1. It was right on the thing, and I got it for cover price. I read it. It was somewhat interesting. So I said to myself, you know what? If they have a couple more issues for cover price, I'll buy them. So they did have bag of the board, by the way. New Agents of Atlas, #2. New Agents Atlas, #3. And New Agents Atlas, #4. All War of the Realms. And the thing that I like about this series, really like about it, I found the first issue kind of interesting, but it is written by Greg Pak. And I'm a big fan of Greg Pak ever since he did Planet Hulk, World Hulk, that whole run. So I'm kind of a Greg Pak believer. If I see something of his, I'll give it a shot because I relatively am not disappointed with a lot of the stuff he does. They're not all home runs. Don't get me wrong. Some stuff sucks, but he's not bad. He's not bad. So, and a little side note, if you saw last week's episode, I did pick up, along with the Agents of Atlas, I had picked up a Gamora #1. And I noticed that the LCS owner looked at me a little funny when I handed it over to him, and he charged me cover price on it. Well, I'll tell you something. I saw on the same rack where I got it last week, the same issue that I picked up for last week at cover price with a $10 sticker price on it. So I guess he got alerts to it. No regrets. I only wanted one copy. I wasn't going to pick them up and hoard them, but it was interesting. Now, you notice how I have the bag like this with tape over here and tightly bundled like a brick? That's so I can protect them in the best way I can. Now, this is from the second comic shop. And you see some bags and boards? Well, these are dollar books. This is how crazy it is. These are dollar books that I picked up, and they're all bagged and boarded. So I picked up about a dozen dollar books on spec, and you'll see my weird spec with these books and weird hobby collecting with these books. And I sandwiched the new books in between them so they don't get damaged. So what I'm going to do, I am going to start off with the new books, and then I'll show off the dollar books that I picked up. And you could tell me if I picked up crappy books or if you would have picked up the rest, the same. So let's start off with this. I got cover B of Something's Killing the Children. Like I said, I'm getting duplicate copies of all these issues of Something's Killing the Children. So this one was actually an extra that I picked up. I was fortunate enough to find an extra copy in this LCS to complete the set of A and B in there. Hey, Tricky, how's it going? So I picked that one up. And then I saw this thing. This thing is pretty, I don't know what to make of it. It's like a throwback of those pulp, or like even the horror comics from the pre-horror, pre-code horror days. Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Death. What's a snifter? Is this an N or is this a H? Is it snifter or shifter? I think it's an N. I think it's Snifter of Death. Look at this guy. I think he sniffs. This looks like a dummy. Looks like there's a bunch of different stories in here. Trick or Full Treat, then Living Smashing, uh, Teeth Rotting Terror, Mind Wrecking Origin. I love this kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for this. Definitely Snifter, huh? All right, it's the Snifter. But I'm a sucker for these kind of books. Um, this was who made this? Who the hell made this comic? Ahoy Comics, and this was a made by Ahoy Comics at $4.99. But you know what? It got my curiosity. I don't think there's anything other to it other than it being a tales of mystery and inebriation. That's interesting. Maybe it's a one shot. I don't know. If something like this comes out again next month, I'll check it out. I don't know. I want to read this. I'm curious. I'm a sucker for this stuff. I love this stuff. I don't think I've ever seen anybody specking on this book in any way, or even mentioning it as a book to pick up this week, or even mentioning that it exists. So that stuff attracts me. I like that. So next book. Oh, okay. Amazing Fantasy number 3. Absolutely gorgeous cover. Love it. It's a throwback cover. 70s space age, almost looks like a Vampirella cover to some extent. Maybe it's even a Vampirella homage. Looks like that a little bit. Awesome cover. Here's the problem. You see that? You see that? You see that? You see that? You know why that happened? Because there's no bags and boards. And I went through every single issue that they had on the rack, and they all had the same kind of damage. And not only that, it goes all through the spine. Now, if this is a book that I was specking on, I'd be freaking bonkers. Not pissed, because right now I'm just a little pissed. I'd be bonkers. I'd be out of my mind because they're all damaged. And I'm buying it on spec, supposedly, Every nick. This is like all this is freaking pretty horrible for something I just got off the rack. Now, if it was in a bag and board, this wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're selling something to collectors. The LCS is catering to people that are hobbyists and collectors. You're not a newsstand. If it was a newsstand, I would understand. But you're a specialty shop. You need to respect the books a little bit better. And that goes for all the LCSs that don't give bags and boards. And that's the point I'm trying to make. It does look like the Black Widow a little bit, Hayden. It does. So I'm not going to go back to the bags and boards. I'm just making that point. I'm done. Done. Okay. Then, here's a little bit of stupid spec. I picked up, they still had a few issues of these. Ultimate Fallout 4. So I picked up 2 more of them. I had a couple already. And the only reason I got them is I'm going to send one as a AOK gag to somebody. I figured it's funny, maybe he'll think it's Ultimate Fallout. And the other one I'm probably going to put in a giveaway, upcoming giveaway, as part of the giveaway. It's good to have. It's nice to have it in your collection. Some people haven't had an opportunity to get these yet, so I figured I'd share these with the community. They exist. So, you didn't get one, Hidden Gems? So then you should be part of. Well, you're already a subscriber, and you typically comment. And when I put that subscriber giveaway, you need to comment on it, and perhaps you'll get one. And I'll tell you what, Hidden Gems. Next time I go to the LCS, if I find another one, I'll pick it up and send it out to you. How's that sound? No promises. They only had a few left, but you never know. They might have more. And don't be a grade snob. I'm just picking them up off the rack, and I'm not making an issue out of them. All right. So the next one is Stranger Things, 104. So this is some kind of. How's it going, Mark? From the distributor. It could have been from the distributor, Tricky. It could have been. It really could. Like this damage might have been from Diamond or from the publisher or whatever. It could have been. But at the same time, you know what? If it was in bags of boards, you would know it's from the distributor and not from being raw on the rack. Just saying, you know. I'm just saying. So yeah, this is interesting. This is some TV show that's on Netflix. I haven't watched any episodes. I heard really good reviews about it. And normally I wouldn't pick up a book like this. I really wouldn't. I don't like picking up books that, especially new books that are just based on like TV shows and stuff like that. But the reason I picked it up is I mentioned before that I'm into Greg Pak writing. I noticed that Greg Pak wrote this. So because of that reason, and because it's a number one, and because I haven't seen the show at all, I have nothing to compare it to, I'll read it for what it is. And I'm interested. I don't necessarily appreciate this type of art, but at the same time, you know, it's fine. The art is fine, but it's not necessarily my style. This is like really much more digital art, and I just feel like it's too generic. It doesn't have a lot of character to it. But hopefully the story's great, and if it is, I'll collect those 4 issues of the series. Stranger Things was a really good series. Are you referring to the TV show, Mark, or are you referring to the comic? I'm assuming you're referring to the TV show. I don't know if there was any other comics out before this. Then the next book. Oh, this one's interesting. This one's really interesting. The Children of the Plague. It's a one shot. Get another $4.99 book. I don't know what the story is with this. Really don't. It's another Dark Horse book. I don't know how I'm picking up Dark Horse books. Really interesting. Art's a little better in this one than the other Dark Horse book. But the Children of the Plague. Interesting. Really, really, really interesting. I haven't heard anybody talking about this comic at all. And for that reason, and the fact that I'm a little bit intrigued by it, I picked it up. And it's a one shot, so I'm not committed to it. One book, that's it. Both, Mark. Was there another series of comics before this one for Stranger Things? And then next is, okay, so this is my second copy of Something's Killing the Children. Again, you see this little ding? It just irritates me. So this is probably going to be my reader's copy. This one's okay. And then this is the second copy of Cover A. Then the next book is Department of Truth number 13. This is cover B, I'm assuming. I believe cover B. And this is cover A. And honestly, I like the cover A's so much better. Oh, so there has been a lot of Stranger Things. Interesting. I didn't even know they existed as comics. That was a graphic novel I grabbed up last November. Okay, I didn't even know that. All right, so that's good. I'm reading this thing without any bias. And if I like it, then I could go and try to get the back issues. Good stuff. By the way, Gary, since you're still on, I'm just letting you know I got something that I'm working on for you. I'm gonna I'm gonna contact you at some point on probably IG, just so you could let me know where to send it. But it's something that's you. That's all I'm gonna say. But Department of Truth, issue 13. This is the last of this Bigfoot run, and I'm kind of like, meh. I haven't read 12 yet, so I'm gonna read 12 and 13 together. But I do enjoy the cover A's a lot more. I like this like flip cover thing going on, and like all the weird images. I like that a lot. I know everybody loves these with her in there. I like this cover. I like these covers, but that's a preference thing. These, I'm getting one of each, A and B's, and that's it. I'm not going nuts, and I'm not big on the variants. But because I know that this has been optioned already, or it's going to be something, there's some kind of development going on with this thing, or it's going to be. This is made for a TV show. This is like the X-Files. It's worth at least having a copy of each. Then the next book is Inferno #1. Let's see what's going on with Inferno. So I was going to just get this copy. This was the copy. And when I got to the counter, the LCS, the kid at the LCS at the register was like, "Did you see the other cover?" I'm like, "What other cover?" Because I picked out the best looking one. There was a lot of them. There was a peach Momoko cover, which I'm not a big fan of, and other ones that had just like Mystique on it by themselves and stuff like that. I like the fact that this has a lot of different characters on it, and it's well drawn. So I enjoy that. I'm hoping this is really good. I'm very intrigued, but to see what is going to be happening with this whole Hickman writing run, how it's gonna end. And then he said, "You got to get the other cover," and I'm glad he did tell me this is a variant cover. Again, I'm not huge on the variants, but look at this. Look at this. It's a wraparound. It's got all these great characters on it. Look at all this detail. It's beautiful. So I had to get it. So this is going to be my reader. This is going to be one that I'm going to put away. Maybe try to get a clear backboard to put it in. Really beautiful cover. Beautiful, beautiful cover. And look at all these great characters in here. I'm loving it. I really am. All right. So let's get into some spec. Let's get into some dollar books. Let's get into the stuff that I grabbed just on a whim. Let's start with this. Atlantis Attacks, #2. Here's another book. I didn't even know Atlantis Attacks was a thing. Got Namor on here. I think he's fighting Atlas people here. This looks like a lady Loki or something like that, or some Atlantean. I don't know. Atlantis Attacks. Why not? Let's read this. Let's see what this is all about. A little bit of curiosity. I don't think much of spec. If I would have been saying it's more spec if it was #1. I would have gotten it. But interesting. It really is interesting. Then the next book on the list is, by the way, dollar books, bags and boards. Dollar books. So the excuse of, oh, it's more expensive. You're giving them away for dollar books. Give these raw. Put these in the bags and boards. Again, I'm not going to get into it. Then you got Aksani-san, #1. Now, this, if I remember correctly, I used to have this issue. It was part of my collection that I got all lost and everything. If I remember correctly, this is Nate Gray. He's the alternate, the Cable. Um, something to this is an interesting story, some kind of like futuristic story involving him. Might be something that really it gets adopted somehow in the X-Men in the future, especially when you have writers that love to pull things from history. Got it for that reason. A little bit of spec. It's number one. A little bit of nostalgia because I had this book, and for $1, you can't go wrong. You know. Here's one that I was actually really excited to get. Ape Nation. Ape Nation number 1. The first full color series from Adventure Comics. Now, here's something that's weird. The first full color issue. Does that make this the first issue? Because here it says number 397.71. What the hell does that mean? That's one curiosity about this. 2, I love the art on this. Gary, if you're watching, you'll probably like the art on this. There's a big, element to the kind of stuff you like on here, as far as like that barbaric kind of look on there. I enjoy this. Ape Nation. Now I see this alien-looking dude with the spots on his head, which is remind me a little bit of Alienation, which was a TV series in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, somewhere around there. And I'm thinking this is some kind of like continuation from Alienation with the Ape Nation. But either way, it got me so intrigued. It's in a really nice condition. It's got a great cover. It's got this foil type of lettering here. So a real throwback on that. It was $1. And this one I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on to see exactly what it's all about. I'm definitely going to read it to see what the story is. But this one I was really excited to find in there. Might be the favorite book out of the lot, from at least, especially from the dollar bin lot. Well worth it. Well worth it looking at that. Then the next book I got here is Empress number 1 from Icon Comics. Another dollar book over here. Mark Millar book. That's what pulled me to read it. It's a number 1. It's Empress. They do have a bunch of like 2, 3, 4 of Empress. But I'm like, let me pick up number 1 and see what it's all about. It is Mark Millar. Why not? Why not? $1. So this one's a fun one. This one actually did not have a backboard, but it was in a plastic. Double Dragon number 1. Completely stupid spec book. Everybody's buying these stupid video game comics. Double Dragon was a huge video game back in the days. Take it easy, Gary. Thanks for stopping by. Double Dragon was definitely a big book, a big game back in the days. And for $1, why not grab it? All these other stupid video game books are going through the roof. Why not? This is my spec. This is purely on spec. There you go. Then the next book I got is Shadowhawk 2, number 1. All right, so I got this one for a couple of reasons. One, it's a beautiful cover. I absolutely always love this cover. It's one of the books that I lost from my collection that I used to have. It was only $1. I don't think there's any significance to it as far as the initial image run, because I've been doing the image run collection of trying to get all the number 1s of the original batch of image books, like Youngblood, Spawn, Wildcats, etc., etc. I've been trying to get all those and to bring them back in the collection as long as they're like cheap. But I made the exception for this one for the sole reason that I really enjoy this cover. Really enjoy this cover, and I don't mind having this next to the original Shadowhawk #1, which has a really nice chromium cover as well. So beautiful and great condition for all black cover. Not even one ding, not even one bend on it. Next on the line is Ultimate Comics Cataclysm 1. I'm compiling a lot of these Ultimate comic books. One, trying to understand what the stories are. Two, I see that there's been a lot of interconnection between these and the real Marvel universe and the whole multiverse thing. They're all somehow getting intertwined more and more every year through the stories. So I'm trying to pick up as many as I can at an affordable price. One, so I can start understanding and reading them. Two, I've noticed that some of these out of nowhere spike because they have something of significance. Like, for example, Fantastic Four, I believe 21 has the first Marvel Zombies in it. And stuff like that, So a little bit of spec, a little bit of curiosity, and more for understanding of how these universes somehow connect. Next is a really weird book, Vinegar Teeth #1. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this book. I don't know if there's anything significant about this book. I don't know if it's cool or not, but it's got a pretty decent cover. Look at this. You got a sheriff walking around all scared, witless, and you got this like intestines coming and trying to grab something, and then you got this monster face over here. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's got me intrigued. It's got me engaged. I'll tell you that much. I could tell you that much. It definitely got me engaged. It's definitely got me engaged. So, and the title, look at it, Vinegar Teeth. What the hell is that all about? Vinegar Teeth? Some of these titles blow me away. I don't even know what they're all about. So I got it. Next is, well, this I got for a couple of reasons. One, this is an awesome looking cover. Beautiful cover. Beautiful artwork. V-Wars. Wow, it's got to be about vampires. It looks like a Dracula kind of guy here. So V-Wars. It's #1. It's got a horror cover on it. The art is fantastic. It's got me written all over it. This is the kind of stuff I'm a sucker for. I pick up all day, every day. So I had to get that one. Then I picked up this X Factor Annual #4. And these are books that I'm slowly picking up whenever I find them for cheap. And what I mean by this is there was a run of annuals. At one point, Marvel was doing connecting storyline annuals throughout their major titles. There and Atlantis Attack was one of the ones that they had. Evolutionary War was another one. Something Kang Initiative was another one. There was a whole bunch of them. So Atlantis Attacks is one of the ones that I've been picking up, and why not? For $1, why not? And then we got a couple books here. Okay, so we're going back to the Image books, and the reasons I picked up this book. If you saw last week's or one of the recent pickups that I did, I picked up Wildcats #1 and Wildcats #2. And I got them for the reasons of one. #1 is #1. And you got Grifter first appearance in there, etc. Jim Lee book. I got #2 because of the holofoil cover, first of its type, first of the holo prism covers. But I left this one behind. And then I remembered after that this was the first appearance of Wetworks. Therefore, I looked, it was still there, so I picked it up for $1. And I think I'm done with the Wildcats. I don't think I'm going to pick up any more Wildcats. I have number 1 in a poly bag, number 4 in a poly bag somewhere. So I basically have number 1 to 4 of Wildcats. I'm done with Wildcats. Not because, well, yeah, because I don't have any interest in that series. You know, the first issues are the ones I wanted, and that's it basically. So then I took a quick peek in the Wise, because I was looking for Why the Last Man books if they had any, which they didn't. And I found this issue of Youngblood number 1. Now, the thing that I don't understand about this book, and I remember there being a completely different cover for Youngblood number 1. And I did pick it up last time, the one with Bedrock and all these characters on there. I don't remember. Did they make a second series of Youngblood? And was this the number 1 of it? I don't remember. So for that or is this a variant issue, a variant cover? I don't know. And for that reason that I didn't know, for $1, I picked it up. Just in case it was some kind of weird offshoot variant that I didn't know about. Just in case. Just in case. So I picked it up. Then I saw this, number 2 of Youngblood. And the only reason I picked this book up is because at one point these things were on fire for some reason because of this character Prophet. Supposedly there's some kind of option TV show or something going on with him. This was a complete spec book. For $1, I picked it up. And if something happens of it, great. If not, so be it. I'm not going to cry over $1 I spent on it. And I'm sure somebody else would buy it from me for $1 if I ever wanted to get rid of it. It's in great condition, and it's fine. And notice again, just an observation. I mentioned this last time when I got Youngblood number 1. No feet again. We got 1 foot. We got 2 feet. We got 2 feet on the cover here, which is a rarity for Liefeld. This one, 0 feet. So we got a 2 feet issue, which is a rarity in itself. So not only is it the first issue appearance of Prophet, it is a rare feet issue of a Liefeld drawn book. Keep that in mind. You know what? I'm looking at the prices. This is a $2.50 comic. And this is $1.95. So this must have came out, this must have been a second series of Youngblood. It must have been. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. I got it. It is what it is. Love this cover. Love this title. Got a bunch of stuff. I'm happy with a lot of the books I got today. Got a little bit of spec. A little bit of enjoyment. It's your typical new comic book day. So I appreciate everybody joining me today for this live stream and listen to my rant about bags and boards again. And just like every video that I'm doing on my way to 150, for every 25 comments that I receive on a video, I will be doing one of those wheel things. And the winner of that wheel thing will receive a comic. And along with that comic, they will receive a personalized sketch from me. Now, you want to get me started, don't you, Sixth Face? You really want to get me started again. I'm trying to be good. But I'm trying. Okay. So every single, you could always catch the replay, Sixth Face. And while you're at it, you could throw a comment on the video and possibly get a comic from me and a personalized sketch. So I'm going to be doing that all the way until I hit 150 subscribers. And then when I hit 150 subscribers, I will be hitting I will be doing a giveaway for 150 subscribers. And then we're also going to be doing another giveaway at 200 subscribers. Not only will I be adding a giveaway, but Dank Comics, who I love Dank, has been gracious enough to offer a prize, a giveaway from his own collection of a CGC graded comic to that 200 subscriber video. So keep tuned for that. I'm going to try to do as much as I can for the community, give out as much stuff as I can, share my useless knowledge to you, and hopefully it entertains you and you enjoy it, and maybe you'll get something out of it. But I thank you all for joining me today. And until the next time, I want you all to keep collecting, and I'll keep recollecting. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night. All right. How the hell do we turn this off again? Come on. There we go.